Hare Krishna, dear all. So let's welcome for today's continuous discussion on Nectar of Devotion. So today we are going into the new chapter, all right? New division, the third division, Western Ocean. Okay. So before we do, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sarpaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachristarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshavana Videvidaitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Viknanadaine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jola Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhakti Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Rina Tarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasiddhanta Tavantarine Nama Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujaite Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupai Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumestum Nidasa Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavini Vaishnave Vayu Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Garatise Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusudevi Pranamami Hari Priye Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamham Vande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hariom Tatsat Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hari Krishna Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kata Damadaya Nagaragra Matarini Hari Om Tatsa Hare Krishna. So after many months, I don't know how many months we've been discussing Nectar of Devotion. Maybe Sadguna Mataji, she's always keeping in touch. So after many months, we have already completed this two big chapter. First ocean, that's Eastern Ocean, which is 19 chapters. Then Southern Ocean, which is 15 chapters. All right, we have completed these two chapters here, two divisions. So first we start from Vaidhi Sadhana, which is the main thing in the Eastern Ocean. Then after that, Bhava, okay, varieties of Bhava that we have studied in our reciprocation in chapter division 2. So now we're going to start from third division, that is Eastern Ocean. So Eastern Ocean here, let me see where's the book. Okay. So let's just a quick recap what we can expect in this Eastern Ocean. All right. So here we're going to speak more on Stai Buff. Right, Stai Buff. So here, so just a quick recap. The fifth way concerning Stai Buff, Southern Ocean. Oh, sorry, not Southern Ocean. We are going to the starting a second book. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the western section, all right, which is primary Bhakti Rasa. Okay, primary Bhakti Rasa. So it has a total of 5 waves. The The first wave we call as Shanta Ras. Second wave we call Priti Ras or Dasya Ras. The third wave is Priyo Rasa, which is called Sakya Ras, friendship. Then the fourth wave we call Vatsala Rasa. The fifth wave we're going to discuss on Madhura Rasa. Okay. And then after that, so this is the 5 waves we're going to discuss in this Western Rasa. So I hope this is going to be very interesting. And looking at that, this chapter is not so big. It has something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters. Then after that, continued by Northern section, which is also not so big. All right, it has total of 9 waves. All right. So we're going to start out this thing. So defining the 5 principal Bhakti Rasa. The first wave that we're going to discuss is concerning Shanta Bhakti Ras in the Western section of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. All right. So here, what are the things that we're going to discuss? Okay, in a quick summary. Number 1 is we're going to speak on Alambana. Alambana means Vishaya, form of Vishnu. Vishaya means form of Vishnu. Shanta Bhakta. Okay, we're going to speak on Atmarama and Tapasvi. Then we're going to discuss also Udipana, Anubhava, Satvika Bhava, all accepting fainting. All right. Satvika Bhava is this thing, except fainting. Okay, we're not going to discuss that. Vyabhichari Bhav. Okay. Then types of Parokshya and Sakshat. And elevation to Shanta Bhakta to higher rasa. And Shanta to rasa, same fixed in the Lord. Sama fixed on the Lord becomes rasa. All right. Of course, this is quite confusing what I'm saying. It's okay. But of course, this is from the book of by Banu Maharaj. Okay. So this is the definition. But of course, what we are going to study in our Nectar of Devotion here. All right. At the page, starting from the page 285. Okay. We're going to do the summary study. All right. Which is sufficient also. Which is sufficient. And because we're going to apply this entire Nectar of Devotion when we're going to start our Srimad Bhagavatam session. So I estimate that most probably we can complete the entire Srimad, Nectar of Devotion most probably by end of this month, or maybe extended maybe up to mid of January. All right. Then after that, we have a 2 months break. Then before we start our Srimad Bhagavatam, then I was thinking, so before we start Srimad Bhagavatam, maybe in between, we will have a class and discuss on the introduction part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is going to be very long, lengthy text. All right. Then let's mentally, emotionally get prepared to merge and to dive into the ocean of rasa that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So let's do our today's program here. So now we're going to discuss on 35th chapter, which is called Neutral Love of God. Okay, Neutral Love of God. And before that, I would like to welcome all of the devotees here. I'm so grateful that you have attended today's session. You know, you are giving me a lot of enthusiasm to move on. Even sometimes I feel tired and everything, but your enthusiasm is very contagious. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm. All right. Mukhya Bhakti Rasa Nirupaka Paschime Vivaga. Shanti Bhakti Rasakya Pratama Lahari. Drita Mugda Rupa Baro Bhagavatar Pita Pratu Prema. Sa Mayi Sanatana Murtis. Tanotu Purushottama Tushtim. All right. Now here we are speaking on 3.1.1. That means we are speaking on Western Ocean. Okay. Third division, Western Ocean. First wave, text 1. So here, Srila Rupa Goswami offers his respectful prayers to the eternal Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so here he is offering his prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always so beautiful and to whom the pure devotees are always engaged in loving transcendental service. So what we can understand from here, the loving transcendental service is only meant for the Supreme Personality. Other than that, we think that we have so much of passion for the country. You know, we are protecting the country. I got this, that nationalism, patriotism, and all these kind of things. It doesn't have that what they call, it doesn't have the loving service. All right. Some or other due to some kind of bhava or some kind of patriotism. All right. Because the pure devotional loving transcendental service only can be directed to the Supreme Personality. Rasa Mritambader Bhagetra Bhagetra Tritiye Paschima Bidi. Mukhyo Bhakti Rasa Pancha Vida Shantadir Iryate. Alright, the second verse it says, this third division. Now, Rupa Goswami part is explaining the third division. All right, we must understand. See, in anything that we study, all right, in fact, in the future, if you're going to take up any books, all right, when you talk about Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita or Bhagavad Gita, most important way of proper studies is to go through the introduction very thoroughly. Some people will just they just like to skip introduction and straight go to the chapter 1. At that introduction is the place the mood is prepared. When we want to study, even when you're studying like school books, sometimes I do this program, right? Efficient study method and all these kind of things. The first thing what we do, read the introduction very thoroughly. If you read the introduction very thoroughly, that's when you'll get your glimpse what to expect in that that book, right? So similarly, now let's pay attention to this introduction on Western wave. So now it's mentioned, Rupa Goswami's part is saying, this third division of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describe the 5 primary kinds of devotional service. All right. How many kinds? We are talking about 5 primary kinds. All right. That's the most important thing. So the entire chapter is going to discuss on 5 primary. All right. Primary means what? The important. Okay. The basic. Okay. Kinds of devotional service. All right. So what we're going to have discussed today is namely neutrality, servitude, fraternity, parenthood, and conjugal love. All right. These are the 5 things that we're going to discuss here. All right. Because previously, when we speak about these kind of 5 things, that means how you can relate yourself to Krishna is come to these 5 primary kinds of rasa. So now these 5 items will be very elaborately explained here. How? We must understand very elaborately explained. All right. So this is once and for all, we're going to study this thing and we're going to study it in detail. So we're going to understand it very thoroughly. And thus, what is the advantage? They have been figuratively described. All right. What type of description? Figurative description. All right. Because if we simply try to learn without this analogy or any figurative, it sometimes we can't understand. That's why there's a lot of examples are given. Prabhupada gives this analogy, and I also like to share some of my way of understanding. Okay. So what I understand, through what? So the way I am understanding, I'm sharing with you with some example. All right. So it has been figuratively described as the 5 waves, all right, of the western side of this ocean of nectar of devotion. So now we understand all these 5 things is going to be divided into 5 waves. All right. 5 waves. Okay. Now, when one is actually able to maintain the transcendental position, okay, so now what are the words that we should say? When one is actually be able to maintain. So this is happen by effort. What we can understand from this, okay, maintain what? The transcendental position. Okay, transcendental position. That means if one can actually able to maintain, it is maintenance means it's not something that happen coincidentally, but you have to do maintenance. Okay, maintenance. So you have to always maintain. So if one can actually do that, in that transcendence, okay, his stage is called as neutrality. Neutrality in devotional service. All right. So some great sages have attained this neutral position by practicing austerity, penance, meditation to control the senses. All right. So now what is the neutrality means? Neutrality means, that means by practicing austerity. That means doing this kind of austerity, penance, meditation, and control of senses. So here we're going to go through a very detailed discussion on that. Okay. So what is neutrality is called here? All right. Shantaras. All right. What is neutrality? Oh, it's not mentioned here. All right. So anyway. Okay. So meditation and control of sense. So now we understand. No, neutrality means the one who perform austerity. Okay. Such sages are generally called as mystic yogis. So what we can understand from here, The mystic yogis is the one who practice that neutrality. So far, so good. Are you all following me? Right? Sometimes we'll say, what is neutral? Neutral means not here, not there, one place. All right. We try to understand this kind of concept, neutrality. All right. So now what happened? The great sages, such sages are generally called mystic yogis. Okay. Mystic yogis. And in most cases, they are inclined to appreciate the spiritual pleasure of the impersonal feature of the absolute truth. They are practically unaware of the transcendental pleasure derived from personal contact with Supreme. So that means we understand the neutrality is the people who are, most cases, they are inclined to appreciate the spiritual pleasure. They don't want to know the God in person. He doesn't want to see how he dances, how he have fun with his devotees. For them, just sit in one place and try to merge into themselves like Paramatma, or they think the only thing they want to, they meditate on the light. Okay. So they don't go into that transcendental pleasure. Okay. Through the contact. So actually the transcendental pleasure, the transcendental pleasure derived in association with Supreme Person. Please underline that. The transcendental pleasure. Okay. The transcendental pleasure derived in association with the Supreme Person is far greater than the pleasure derived from impersonal Brahman realization. So now we understand the neutrality people is the one who goes into impersonal Brahman. Right? So it is more pleasurable in association with Supreme than the pleasure derived from impersonal form of the Lord, because the direct meeting with the eternal form of the Lord. Okay? All right. Now the thing is, impersonalists do not directly derive the transcendental pleasure. They don't directly derive the transcendental pleasure association with Supreme Lord by hearing his pastimes as such. Okay, hearing his pastimes. As such, the impersonalists cannot derive any relishable transcendental pleasure from the topics of Bhagavad Gita. Right? They can't see, because they don't have a direct contact, they cannot derive all this kind of pleasure, in which the Lord is personally talking to Arjuna. All right. So now the basic principle of their impersonal attitude. Please remember this. Very important. Because in the future, we also say that we should not associate with the people, but also we must know what is their psychological setup. So the basic principle in their impersonal attitude does not allow them to the transcendental pleasure. They don't allow them into the transcendental, which is relished by devotee whose basic principle of understanding the Supreme Person. So far, so good. Are you all following me on this? All right. Good, huh? Okay, good. Now, this impersonalist commentary, the impersonalist commentary on Bhagavad Gita is therefore disastrous, because without understanding the transcendental pleasure of the Gita, the impersonalist wants to interpret it in their own way. This is Prabhupada is speaking here. So now let's look at this. That means, okay. Right. So that means what it means? The impersonalist commentary of Bhagavad Gita. Who is the great commentary, impersonalist commentary? Radha Krishna, President of India before. He gave the commentary. It's very disastrous. Okay, what is their commentary? All right, they say the person in Krishna is speaking to the person in Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita. So that's one example. The person in Krishna is speaking to the person in Arjuna. But they don't understand Krishna is the person, eternally existent. And Arjuna, who is a Jiva, who is also eternally existent. But of course, he's changing in his body. But Krishna never changes. Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Eternal, full of knowledge, beautiful, form. Sachit Ananda Vigraha, Sachidananda. But they cannot do that. Right? Because they cannot perceive the idea that God has a form. You know? So that means their interpretation can be very disastrous. Because without understanding the transcendental pleasure of the Gita, all right, the impersonalist wants to interpret in his own way. Because they don't understand. Because they are not exposed. An impersonalist can, however, come in contact with a pure devotee. All right. But whatever it is, the impersonalists can come in contact with a pure devotee. His transcendental position can be changed for a greater elevation. All right. So the great sages are therefore recommend to worship the form of the Lord in order to achieve the highest transcendental pleasure. All right. Now, question time. So now, from what we have read and understood, what kind of people are these great mystic yogis? What type of heart do they have? Can anyone recall? They got a heart of what? Example, butter, lac, gold. We discussed that, the three kinds of heart. Butter, lac, and gold. So what kind of heart do the yogis has? Or stone? Anyone?
Stone.
Stone?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comment? Is it stone?
Gold.
Yes, Gandhi Mate.
Gold, Prabhu.
Why?
Because if they say they can, if they come in contact with a pure devotee, his position can be changed to greater elevation.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yes, it's made of gold. Because the gold also can be melted. The gold is melted under a high temperature. Lac with little fire. Butter with room temperature. So who is butter, Mataji?
The pure devotee.
Pure devotees are butter. And who is lac?
That would be the
Sadhakas.
the
Sadhakas. That means the neophytes.
yeah, like me.
All right. So they need to, so they just need to put a little fire, the heart will start to melt. Wonderful, fantastic. All right, so now we understand. So that's why whenever we study, we always try to quote, we will understand the subject very nicely. All right, only the atheists have the heart of the stone, Prabhu, because they just can't accept anything else. They are foolish people. All right, so that means, so what happened? So that means the contact with pure devotee, the transcendental position can be changed. So what it says, the transcendental position can be changed. What does that mean? They are already in transcendental position. All right. But they are in the position of worshipping Brahman. Their understanding is Brahman, the effulgent light, Jodi. And that is also a transcendental position. So what we can understand here, when that impersonalists come in contact with not ordinary devotee, but with pure devotee. Because when we are ordinary people try to get contact with them, we get stuck with them. That's why avoid at all costs. But when they come in contact with pure devotees, especially, the pure devotee is so like a fiery fire, their heart can melt. So what happened? The transcendental position that he's there can be changed. Changed to what? Greater. Okay, greater elevation. Okay, because they are only elevated one place, they are stuck there. All right. So the great sage are therefore recommended to worship the form of the Lord in order to achieve the highest transcendental position. Highest transcendental position. So what does that mean? So that means they are in a lower transcendental position. They can come into the highest transcendental position. You got it? From the lower transcendental position they can come to the highest transcendental position. All right. So now alambana. Without worshipping the Archa Vigraha. Archa Vigraha means what? The deity, the form of a deity of the Lord. One cannot understand such literature as Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. When a person who do not worship the form of the Lord, who don't have worshipping the Archa Vigraha. The Archa Vigraha is not like any other idol or doll. In fact, whenever we say, we call them as deity because Krishna is in the form of a stone, they call it as deity. Idol means what? Idol means he's a kind of statue which has no life, no meaning. So they call idolatry. So please, next time when someone says, oh, what idol do you worship in the temple? Correct them on the spot. Look here, it's not idol, it's deity. All right, it's deity. All right. So it's a deity. So that means what they call we archa vigraha. So when they don't worship that, they cannot understand literature like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Right? Why? We studied that before. All right. What we studied in Nectar of Devotion? The form of Krishna. Okay. What kind of flute he has? 3 types of flutes. What they call? Venu, Murali, Vangsi. All right. He has an anklet. His lotus feet is like painted with a low distinct. And he has very anklet. And he got a 2 different type of dress, undergarment, below. That means he keeps a dhoti, and above the dhoti, he ties another this thing like tundu. Right? Sometimes you see in the temple when they wear a vesti, and above they wear another thing, tundu. So there's 2 colors. And he also has a belt made of pearls and jewelry. And above that, all right, above that, then on the chest, he has a jewelry, which is Kashtuba. All right. Then after that, above that, then he keeps a bangle and he got an armlet, right? Then after that, we can see he has a flute and 3 different types of flute according to the mood. Then above that, how the body face looks like. He sleeps like Bimba. His teeth is stained with the stain like a gold, like a orange kind of stain because he eats pan. Vettala paku, sinambu. There's a teeth. It's beautiful. But now we can recall the ugly part. I know that you all are recalling how your grandmother used to eat that and how ugly their mouth looked like, all right? But it's Krishna. It doesn't look ugly. It's beautiful, right? So don't try to connect with your grandmother's eating that betel nut with calcium like sinambu, right? So like that. Then after that, what happened? He's how the face looks like, how the eyes, the eyebrow, right? The eyes looks like the lotus petal, all right? And the eyebrow is like a bow, and the eyes like an arrow. And how the forehead, how his curly hair, right? What kind of turban he wears. And on the turban crown, there is a peacock feather. All the description is there. So when we don't worship the Archa Vigraha, we can never understand Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. Now you got it? For those great sages situated in the position of transcendental neutrality. Now it's mentioning for great sages situated in transcendental neutrality. That means the mystic, the beginning should be take shelter of the Lord Vishnu. That's the first step. All right. So the first step is they should take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, the 4-handed eternal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Start there. Okay. The mystic yogi are therefore advised to meditate on the form of Lord Vishnu. Since you like to meditate, meditate on the form. Okay, as recommended by Kapila Muni in Sankhya Yoga system. Unfortunately, but sadly, many mystic yogis try to meditate on something void. They want to meditate something void. They want to close the eyes and just see nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Just look at just like void. When you close your eyes, everything is dark and void. They don't look at anything. They look at void. As stated in the Gita, as the result of their simply undergo trouble and do not achieve any tangible result. So they do not achieve any tangible result. The only thing is they manage to control their breath and they tend to live longer. All right. And of course, going in and controlling all the senses, all the outgoing senses, especially very simple, brahmacharya. What happened when a person practice brahmacharya? Brahmacharya is very, very powerful, what they call austerity. All right. When a man do not release his semen unnecessarily, when he don't release his semen, what happened? All the production in the semen, what will happen? It will start to flow upward. Okay, through the kundalini. All right. When the kundalini means on the lower part of the buttocks, there's a place called kundalini. All right. So the semen will travel through the kundalini, go to the back and everything, and go to the head, crown chakra. So the semen is very powerful. It's a very powerful what they call element. 1 ounce of semen takes at least what? 9 liters of blood to produce. Is it 9 liters? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I remember Radharat Maharaj was telling that. And imagine it takes 9 liters of blood just to create 1 ounce of sperm, semen. And when we artificially try to waste it, it is a total waste. And how powerful is semen? It can produce a human being. It can produce a man. That's why semen is very powerful. But when a person practices brahmacharya, when they practice brahmacharya, the semen will go towards up. All right, of course, there's some rules of brahmacharya. You know, what kind of underwear they should wear, what kind of food they should eat, what is the time to eat, and what all in between is. They follow a very strict rules. All right. So that means when the mystic yogi or brahmachari, all right, when they don't simply what they call ejaculate the semen unnecessarily, they tend to become very powerful. And that power can increase the thing. In fact, they can walk on the snow. They'll be standing on the snow will melt under feet. They can be just wearing the traditional underwear and sit under they call in the snow. They can do all kind of superhuman feat. All right. But all these things, they do not achieve any tangible result. Only thing, they achieve some kind of satisfaction of achieving some kind of siddhi. All right. So when some great saintly person who undergone penance and austerity saw the four-handed transient form of Vishnu, they remarked. All right. So when some saintly person who had undergone penance, all right, they undergone this kind of severe austerities and penance, all right, when they see the four-handed form of Vishnu, they make a commentary. What they say? These four-handed form of the Lord manifest in bluish color. Okay, the four-handed form, Narayana, Vishnu, he manifests in bluish color. He is the reservoir of all pleasure. He is the reservoir of all pleasure, Abhiram. And the center of our living force. What does it mean by center of our living force? What does that mean? Center of our living force. What does that mean? All right, center of our living force means that is Paramatma, that living in the heart. All right. Actually, when we see the eternal form of Vishnu, we, along with many other Paramahansas, becomes immediately captivated by the beauty of the Lord. So what they say, let me say, when we see the eternal form of Vishnu, that means the rishis, along with many other Paramahansas. Paramahansas means what? The great sages. Become immediately, it doesn't take long, it just become immediately captivated by the beauty. They get captivated of the beauty of the Lord. So where we can think of this incident happen? The rishis, all the great sages are meditating in the forest, and they became so captivated by the Lord. What is captivated? All right, one is awe-stricken, wow, beautiful and everything. Captivation means what? You only get captivated when there is a love in your heart. When I see a girl, I get captivated with her. And that captivation make me fall in love with that girl. After I fall in love with the girl, I cannot control myself. I get rid of all social custom and get rid of all my male ego and all these kind of things. I simply get a rose and try to go and approach her, kneel down, not care about people around me, and show the rose. I says, can I be your boyfriend, or can you marry me, or some kind of things? Because captivation is a very powerful feeling. All the rules and regulations can be broken. Right? Captivation. All right? Captivated. So they get captivated by the beauty of the Lord. So where we can think of that example, that Lord Ramachandra went into the forest. When he went into the forest, he's not, okay, literally he was banished by the father Dasaratha. But actually he went into the forest to give darshan to all the great mystics who are meditating on him. When they saw the Lord standing in front of him in such a beautiful form, they became like overcome. And they start to say, alas, how nice if I just can simply get up and go and give him a hug. He's so beautiful. I feel like hugging him. They all went into the feminine mode, but they realized they are all masculine. They are men. How can they simply go and hug another man and kiss the man and this thing? So they all meditated. They prayed. All right. So these rishis in the following birth, when they came in the form of Krishna, when Lord Ram came in the form, the original form as Krishna, all these great mystic yogis became gopis. And that is how the gopi bhav started. The gopi, that means they're always eager to hug and feel that romantic feeling with Krishna. All right. So that's why he's saying here, that's the one example we can think of. All right. So they become immediately captivated by the beauty of the Lord. So this appreciation of Lord Vishnu by saintly person is an instant situation in Shantaras. All right. So this situation is an instant, right? Sorry. This is a instant situation in Shantaras. Okay. Or the neutral stage of devotional service. So now we understand. First, they all are great yogis. All right. So, great yogis, and they start to meditate on Vishnu. And in the neutrality, when they found Vishnu and all this, they come to that, or in the neutral stage, they when they in devotional service, when they engage in devotional service in neutral stage, they are in the situation called Shanta Rasa. I hope you all are following me on this. So in the beginning, those who are aspiring for salvation try to get out of the material entanglement by performing painful austerities and penance. All right. So in the beginning, those who are aspiring for salvation try to get out of the material entanglement, get out of material by performing painful austerities and person. And ultimately, they come to the impersonal status of spiritual realization. Okay. First, they want to get out of this material pain, entanglement. They performing painful austerities. Sit in one place, don't eat anything, only breathe air, and penance. Then ultimately they come to the impersonal status of spiritual realization. They come to that thing. At this Brahma Bhuta stage, they call as Brahma Bhuta stage, quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 4.30.20, Canto 4, chapter 30, text 20, of liberation from material entanglement. All right. The symptoms is explained in Bhagavad Gita also, that one becomes joyous beyond any hankering or lamentation and gains a universal vision. Right. So now, when the devotee is situated in Shantaras or neutral stage of devotional service, he appreciates the Vishnu form of the Lord. All right. Let's look at this. So now, first of all, Lord Vishnu, okay, instant situation of Shantaras, in the beginning, when the thing started, those who are, that means anyone who are aspiring for salvation. What is salvation means? To come out of this, that means to attain mukti, salvation. Our goal is not mukti, but mukti is a goal for the mystic yogis. So when they want salvation, what they do? They try to get out of the material entanglement. All right, entanglement. Okay, what is entanglement means what? Okay, stuck. Entangle means, the word means stuck. We are stuck in this entanglement, in this material condition. Right? So when we are stuck, it's so sometimes when you see, when the river goes and suddenly like the the thing, anything stuck in between, how much of trouble. So we are entangled. Okay, how we can think of entanglement? See, once when we fall down from this material condition of life, we were just like in this. Okay, let me see, tell you. Okay, entanglement is like this. Okay, where can I get it? Okay, now like this. First, we started off like this, then like this. So now we are going around millions of births. All right, we are going around and 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 around. Like that, we are just keep going and going and going and going and going. So whenever we just go around, we get stuck. There's a heart knot. There's a thing. So we are entangled. Sometimes the heart knot. That means when you take a two string and put a knot. Sickle, in Tamil we call sickle, sickle a cult. Sometimes when you take a flower, when the thing is like intertwined, it's very hard to take it out. Like that, we have been going around birth after 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 birth, like that. So we keep going, and this entanglement became so real. Can you see? It's all turning color. So now we are going entanglement after entanglement after entanglement. It's all turning color, and we can't even see the entanglement. Because everything start to take form, you know, everything start to take form. We don't know where are we. And now at this situation, where are we supposed to unentangle them? You know, where to do it? Where to break? Where is the cause? Right? Should I? Is that entanglement should I break here? Should I break here? Or should I do it here? Is the entanglement start from here? Where? I can't find anywhere. It's extremely entangled. So in this, when we look at this extremely entangled, is it here? Is it here? Is it there? Is it there? Where? Where are we supposed to go look for them? I can't find anywhere. Oh my God. Because it has been millions and trillions of births, right? We have been just simply going around and around and around and around and stuck. How we stuck? Terribly stuck. So when we look at the terribly stuck situation, so what are the things that we should do? We don't know what to do. So in order to do that, what is mentioned here is, right? Right? So it's mentioned, we have to perform painful austerities and penance. So we have to do something very hard. You know, sometimes when the wheat or the tree is still small, easily can cut it off. But what happens when the tree becomes big and becomes so hard? You have to take a knife and keep chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping. It takes so much of painful process. All right. So now they have to, after the material entanglement, they perform a painful austerities of penance, and ultimately, they come to the impersonal status. So the first step, they come to the impersonal status. That means the first realization, they come into that Jodi realization. Impersonal status or spiritual realization. So at this Brahma Bhuta stage, mentioned in 4.30.20. Okay, Brahma Bhuta stage or of liberation from material entanglement. And now what happened? Now they come out from the material entanglement. So in other words, when you look at this, so now some or other after huge teaching, they are out of this material entanglement. Before, they were fully entangled. And now they are come out of that entanglement. So at this, once they come out from this entanglement, what happened? Okay. Once they manage to cut off all this entanglement, all right, then the symptoms, what are the symptoms? As explained in Bhagavad Gita. The symptoms of those who come out from the entanglement, it's explained in Bhagavad Gita. What happened? What it says? That one becomes joyous. He becomes very happy. Beyond, the word is beyond is to be understood here. Beyond any hankering or lamentation. Why? Why there's no hankering and lamentation? Because there's no more material desire. There's no more material entanglement. You're out of it. Okay? And by doing that, what happened? You gain a universal vision. You start to gain universal. What does that mean? Now you try to understand that you're not this body, you're not this Malaysian, you're not Chinese, you're not Indian, you're this. You start to have universal. We go beyond. We understand that we are tiny, this thing. So we go on to the universal. All right. So when the devotees are situated in this Shantaras or neutral stage, of what? No. Of simply meditation? No. Devotional service. Right? He appreciates. That's when he starts to appreciate the Vishnu form of the Lord. All right? You got it? Okay? Anyone got any questions so far? All right, I assume that you understand. Now, so Vishnu form of the Lord. And now let's look at ourselves. We are, some or other, we are not in the Vishnu form, but we are in the form of, we are adoring the form of Krishna with Radharani, Radha Krishna with gopis and gopals. Where are we? Where actually we came from? We are trying to understand this not to get puffed up, but we are trying to understand this to understand our journey. Where have we come so far in our life? Once upon a time, we were entangled in this material condition terribly. Then we practiced yoga. We managed to come out of this illusion. After that, we start to appreciate the form of Lord Vishnu. I can't recall, but somewhere I remember reading a person who comes into Gaudiya Vaishnavism or the worship of Sri Radha and Krishna. In other words, okay. So in other words, he has completely perfected the worship of Vasudeva for 100 births. He has completed the worship of Vasudeva in 100 births. After you complete the worship of Vasudeva in 100 births, then you come to the first stage of Bhakti. That means the Bhakti towards Krishna. All right? There is one incident. A second incident also can be because of some pure devotee wanted us to come out of this entanglement. We might have taken some prasad in our previous birth. We should have taken some kind of something, you know. But the problem is Indians take things for granted. Indians take things for granted, sorry to say. Because they say, I am born Hindu. We must understand, devotional service is non-sectarian. We are not Hindus. We are not Christians. We are not Muslim. We are not Jew. We are nothing. The introduction of Bhagavad Gita is mentioned. This is called Dharma. Hinduism is Dharma. But Sanatan Dharma is what? The eternal relationship is what? Beyond that. Because the Dharma can change. Today I'm a Hindu. Suddenly I feel I want to get some favor from the government. I convert to Muslim to get some favor. Then after that I go to overseas and I don't have any shelter. Suddenly a church gives me shelter. And the church says you convert to Christian. Okay, I convert to Christian. Convert to Catholic. Or convert to Protestant. Like that, our dharma can change according to, but I as a person never change. Right? Because what I did once upon a time when I was in Singapore. All right? Every Sunday I feel so bored because the Sunday program in the temple is Singapore was at night. This is what I'm talking about in the year 1999. Right? So I was thinking, what can I do in the morning? So I went and joined this Anglican church. And when I joined the Anglican church, immediately they converted me. And my initiated name in Christianity is Joseph Samuel. They just asked me to get into the water. They pushed me into the water. They converted me. But did I change? No. Right? But of course, there I studied the Bible and all these kind of things. All right. Now, anyway, another example, my uncle, my father's younger brother. All right. He was born as a Hindu. But he wanted to go to England to work. All right. So when in those days, in 1960s or early 70s, when you want to go to England, you must get some recommendation. So the pastor in Anglican Church in ACS Ipoh was a Westerner, British. So he went and converted and he went and joined the service. And that pastor gave him a recommendation. Through that recommendation, he went and joined some Methodist hospital or something like that in England. He got a job. And you know what is the funny part? He married to my aunt, who is an Irish. My aunt is an Irish. Irish are basically Catholics. So married to a Catholic, and now from Methodist, now you convert to Catholic, and now they have all moved to New Zealand. And the children, the elder one is atheist. But of course, I will never let that happen. Some or other, I'm trying. We are working on it. And some or other, she accepts the concept of God. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, Indians take things for granted. Because they say, oh, this is Hinduism, and I am part of this culture, and this and that. Remember, we are not Hindus. The Sanatan Dharma or the Hare Krishna movement is not a Hinduism movement. It is the movement of humanity. Right? But in Malaysia, of course, some or other for the favor of this government and all this, some or other they link with the Hindu Sangam and all this. But of course, don't speak all this outside. Right? Because you are coming out. You are all trying to become a pure devotee. You are coming out to you study our Shanta Ras and all these kind of things. We must understand this thing. Understand. Right? Of course, you don't need to go and propagate. Hey, I'm not Hindu, finish. You're asking for trouble. They say, you Hare Krishna fellows are crazy fellows. Right? But the Hinduism, which is part of that, of the Sanatan Dharma or the Dharma, accepted that. Because in Hinduism also got many varieties. Shakta, Ganapatya, this and that, all kind of things. Worship of the ghost, like in Kerala, the Putti Chatan. There's a place, temple called Putti Chatan. All right, the Kuti means short. Chatan means Satan. Putti Chatan temple is there. They all pray, you know. It's all part of the Hinduism. So all these are quite diverse. All right. So we take things for granted. And I say the most fortunate one people who are really work hard for it is the Westerners. All right. Okay. Now, like in our example here, we have this Sudha Sindhu Mataji who is born as Chinese. What is that possibility for a Chinese to come into this Hare Krishna movement? It's a very rare occasion. It's very rare. Because I'm part of the Chinese preaching effort in Malaysia. Of course, TK Prabhu has appointed me, and also, anyway, so I'm part of the team, Chinese preaching effort. The Chinese are basically came from a very materialistic background. For them, everything is monetary. How we can see at the culture, the Chinese invested in schools, but the Indians invested in temples, because the Indians are naturally spiritual. The Chinese are naturally material. All right. So for a Chinese to have the change of heart and to come in to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, to practice these rules and regulation, and to surrender to a guru is a very rare occasion. Extremely rare. All right. That's why when I see the Chinese devotees, they are very appreciative for what they have. They're very appreciative. And they always say they are the most luckiest people on earth. All right. So what Sukriti they have done that they come into contact with this Hare Krishna movement. All right. According to their Shastra, it says that after 100 birth of proper worship of Vasudeva, you come to the level of Bhakti. All right. So did we all came out from that kind of background? I'm not sure. I don't know. But another thing can overwrite this terminology is by the mercy of the spiritual master, or by the mercy of a devotee. Any kind of devotee, whether it's a neophyte, right? Doesn't matter. Even it's a neophyte devotee, he still can trigger the spark that can create a forest fire in one's life. And in that forest fire, all that anarthas, all that unwanted karma, I mean, what they call kutta karma, what is that? Prarabdha, aprarabdha karma, and kutta karma. All this kind of ideology, all this kind of thing can burn into ashes. Right? So now, when we are in this path, think carefully. How fortunate are you? Because you must always appreciate what you have. If you don't appreciate, you may lose it. Right? So look at that. These kind of, the yogis have to go through this kind of horrible, severe penance just to get rid of that entanglement. And they come to this level. So actually all Vedic culture is aiming to understand Lord Vishnu. Right? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in every scripture, I to be known. Right? So in Rig Veda, one mantra says that any advanced saintly person is always aspiring to be fixed in meditation upon the lotus feet of Vishnu. Right? Okay. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the foolish do not know the Vishnu is the ultimate goal of life. All right? Sachidananda Sandranga, Atmarama Shironmani, Paramatma Parambrahmo Samodanda Suchirvashi, Sada Swarupa Samprapto Hatari Gati Dayaka, Vibur Ityadi Gunavan Asmin Alambano Harihi. So it says that foolish do not know that Vishnu is the ultimate goal of life. They always say that everything, they got so much of other understanding and other ideology. When these kind of bogus gurus, bogus celebrity guru, or these kind of people come and talk, oh yes, that makes sense. Come on, life actually doesn't make sense. We must remember that. Oh, the way that Sadhguru speaks makes sense, but it's total nonsense. He's a bogus, right? The what that that's one floor, what do you call Sankara Baba in Tamil Nadu, when he talk nonsense, oh, makes sense. When Sai Baba speaks, makes sense. Whatever Sridi Baba teach makes sense. All these things make sense. But please remember, life, it doesn't make sense. Our life doesn't make sense at all. How can we say that? What does it mean by my life doesn't make sense? I was born and I grew up with all hope, and ultimately I die. It doesn't make sense. Why I should die? All right? Okay, die lah. But why in between I need to get old? Why in between I need to fall sick? It doesn't make sense. You know? Why once upon a time I was good looking, but now why everything turning shaggy? Doesn't make sense. You know? If I were to die, if I were to die, what is my next destination? Doesn't make sense. Because our senses are imperfect, my dear Prabhus and mothers. Where we study that? Where we study that we have imperfect senses. In which book? Any idea? Nectar of Instruction. Is it Nectar of Instruction? Yes, Nectar of Instruction. All right. When is Nectar of Ishopanishad? No, not Ishopanishad. I think Nectar of Instruction.
என்ன சொன்னீங்க பிரபு, திருப்பி சொல்லுங்க, எனக்கு சரியா வழங்கல பிரபு.
Our senses are imperfect. நம்ம புலன்கள் வந்து not perfect. அது எந்த புத்தகத்துல இருக்கு? Ishopanishad. What is the verse?
verse மறந்துட்டேன் பிரபு, எனக்கு அரங்கன் சேரப்ப ஞாபகம் இருந்துச்சு.
Okay.
நம்மளுக்கு 4 டிஃபெக்ட் இருக்கு, அது imperfect senses one of that.
Yes. Come on, Krishna. Om Purnamada Purnidam. Then next one is what? Okay, I so forgot. I think it's the third verse. Where's the book? Ishopanishad. Oh, I don't have Ishopanishad here at all. Oh, how come I don't have the book with me now? All right. So they said to err is human. All right. Human have 4 defects. They can, the tendency of make mistake. All right. The tendency of, what are the effects? Mataji, you tell me, what are the 4 defects? Taki Champakalata Mataji. Anyone can remember that?
Yes. You make mistakes. You cheat.
Cheat, correct.
You're illusion.
Illusion.
And your senses are not perfect.
The senses are not perfect. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So first is, we have the tendency to make mistake. We have the tendency to
cheat.
What is it?
Cheat.
Commit mistake. Cheating. So second is the cheating. Then imperfect senses. Then illusion. So what is the term? Brahma means tendency to commit mistake. All right. Pramada means tendency to be illusion. Vipralipsa, tendency, propensity to cheat. Then karana patava, imperfect senses. All right. So okay. So these are the 4 defects. When we have imperfect senses, how can you understand the Lord by saying it makes sense? It is senseless. We have to be very serious about it. We have to be very serious. We should avoid all these bogus philosophy at all cost. Not even peek into that. All right. Sometimes people like to watch this Zakir Naik talk nonsense and they get very angry. For what you need to watch all that? For what? Do you have the power to stop him? When you look at him, he speaks very foolishly. Avoid that. Avoid the Sadguru nonsense. Avoid all these Babas nonsense. Avoid all of them at all cost. And engage your mind in what the Acharyas teaches in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. The Acharyas don't give his opinion. Right? In Bhagavad Gita, none of them is Prabhupada's opinion. In Bhagavad Gita, everything is the opinion of Krishna, and Prabhupada elaborate that opinion according to our understanding. That's all. We have to be very careful. Right? That's why in Bhagavatam says, the fools do not understand. And what in Bhagavad Gita? Can anyone think of one verse or the translation? What Bhagavad Gita Krishna says? Anyone?
Avajananti Mamuda, Prabhu.
The translation?
Translation தெரியல பிரபு.
Avajanti Mamuda. Okay, then.
மனுஷம் தனும் அஸ்ரிதம். அந்த translation மறந்துட்டேன் பிரபு.
Okay, now let's look at it. Avajanti Mamuda. Mam Avajanti. Mam means what?
Me.
Muda means?
முட்டாள்.
Then second line.
மனுஷம்
Manushana.
தனும் அஸ்ரிதம். When I descend to this world with this human body, the mutal thinking that I am ordinary human.
Very good. Simple or not?
Yeah, Prabhu.
That's all very simple. So the fools deride me when I descend in the form of a human. The fools deride me. In other words, the foolish people think that is another character Krishna and is not God. And in Bhagavatam also says, a foolish do not know that Vishnu is the ultimate goal of life. And today you know all these kind of things. Each and everyone like Vaishnava Prabhu, Gandhi Mataji, Karpya Saraswati, Nanda Devi Mataji, Sarguna Mataji, Sudha Sindhu Mataji, Vaishnava Kamala, all of you understood that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So once when we are educated, when we are distinct, we usually don't waste our time with foolish people. Even in school, the same thing, right? When you are a top student, you don't want to associate with this mediocre student. It's natural. It's not to say you're trying to be very nasty. It's very natural. Oh, these foolish people, I don't associate. Right? So remember that. According to the conclusion of the authoritative Vedic scripture. Yeah, Prabhu, you're saying something? All right, okay. Now, according to what? The conclusion or Tamila Mudivu of what? All authoritative. That means all the authority. That means the Vedic system which is authorized of Vedic scripture. The conclusion is, when a person comes in the stage of appreciating Vishnu, what? Appreciating Vishnu. He is the beginning of devotional service. Can you see? That is the beginning of devotional service. So, when a person comes to the stage of appreciating Vishnu, that's when is the beginning of devotional service. If one cultivate devotional service further, all right? So when it comes, come to the stage of appreciating Vishnu, is the starting of devotional service. Then after you start that, you cultivate further and further. You cultivate what you have understood, the devotional further and further and further, not in your imagination, but under the proper guidance. All right? Because this is a very serious matter. All right? Sometimes when you go to the high flying lab, or you go into the NASA lab, or you go to this kind of confidential part, you have to be guided by someone. Now you walk this way. But this serious matter is going to put a full stop to your transmigration in many varieties of life. You are going back home, back to Godhead. It has to be under proper guidance, not some bogus gurus or bogus recommendation or bogus suggestion. It's not the matter of makes sense. It has to be done under the proper guidance. Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says? Surrender unto my pure devotees. Surrender unto my pure devotees. They can impart the knowledge unto you. Why? Because they have seen the truth. What is the verse? Yeah. Why am
Evam paramparam praptam Prabhu.
No. Evam paramparam praptam.
Vidhi pradipatena pariprasthena sevaya.
Again.
Tat vidhi pradipatena pariprasthena sevaya. Upadasyati te jnanam jnaninam tattva darshanam.
What verse is that? Which chapter?
4.2 Prabhu.
4.2. 4.2, Krishna said very clearly, Take guidance from my spiritual preceptors. And don't simply take guidance, serve him also. How? Humbly. Because they can guide you properly because they have seen the truth. So now cultivate devotional service further and further under the proper guidance. Not from YouTube, not from this thing. Okay, proper guidance. Other features of devotional service will gradually become manifest. So all the features of devotional service will start to manifest. What does that manifest means? What is manifestation? Something is there, but it's hidden. And now it's come into sight. Something is there, but now it's hidden. மறைஞ்சிருக்கு. அந்த பொருள் இருக்கு, பொருள் மறைஞ்சிருக்கு. ஓகே? அப்ப அந்த 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 இது நம்ம அது உருவாகுது. தோன்றுது. Manifestation in Tamil we call தோன்றுதல். தோற்றம். Alright? மண்ணை நோண்டி பார்ப்போம், உள்ளுக்குள்ள சிவலிங்கம் வெளியா வருது. அப்பனா உள்ளுக்கு சிவலிங்கம் இருந்திருக்கு. நம்ம மண்ணை நோண்டனே தோன்றுது. So manifestation is something is there, but is hidden with our eyes of ignorance. So when we take the thing, then all these devotional service under the guidance, everything will become manifest. The thing is within you, my dear Prabhus and mothers. Is within you. In order to manifest it, you have to do it by a proper guidance. At this stage, what happened? Of Shantaras, so that means the rishis are attending from that illusion, from the Brahma Bhuta stage, that means the God which has don't form, and now they come to the stage of Bhagavan who has a form, and they've taken a guide under a pure devotee, and now they're starting our devotional service, and after they continue with this under the proper guide, all the manifestations start to appear. What is that manifestation? All the manifestation of all kind of rasa, or all kind of taste, all kind of vibhava, anubhava, and sthayi bhava. Sanchari bhava. Okay, not sthayi bhava. Sanchari bhava. All these kind of things will start to manifest. Now Prabhupada is mentioning, at this stage of Shantaras, even a person come to the Shantaras or neutrality. That means a mystic who accept Vishnu as the distinct is still in neutral, but accepting. In this stage of Shantaras, what happened? One can see Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the deliverer of even the demons. Can you imagine? You come to the level of Shantaras, you can see the Lord can deliver you. Yes, Mataji? Saki.
ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா பிரபு.
Yes, Mataji.
எனக்கு என்ன கேள்வினா பிரபு, இப்ப பகவான் லோகத்துல வந்து 5 விதமான பக்தர்கள் ராசம் இருக்குதுல்ல, வச்சல்யா, மாதுரியா, சக்கியம். இந்த சாந்தராஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் தட். இப்ப இந்த யோகிங்க வந்து இன்னும் பெர்ஃபெக்ஷன் அடையல, எப்படி இந்த சாந்தரசத்துல அவங்க என்டர் ஆகுறாங்க கோலுக்குள்ள?
இல்லையே, இப்போ வந்து they're talking about perfection. We haven't talking about entering Goloka this thing. Shantaras is the first step.
கோலோக விருந்தாவனத்துல வந்து இந்த மரங்கள், பகவான் இந்த அசையாத பொருட்கள் எல்லாம் சாந்தராசன் தான் சொல்றாங்க பிரபு.
அப்படியா?
கிளாஸ் கேட்டுருக்கேன். அதான் எனக்கு தெரியல.
I have no idea. All right. Anyway, we will find out about that.
Okay.
Shantaras in Goloka Vrindavan, the trees in Shantaras. What do you think others, devotees, right? Like Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Gandhi Mataji, Nanda Mataji, who have been attending the class from the day one. Sadguna Mataji. What do you think?
இது காஸ்ட்ல வந்து பிரபு, குரு டிசைபிள் காஸ்ட்ல சொன்னாங்க, இந்த சாந்தராஸ்ல இருக்கிற ஒரு சில பக்தர்கள்லாம் இருப்பாங்க, அவங்க ரொம்ப ஆக்டிவா இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ அவங்க வந்து கிருஷ்ணா லோகத்துல வந்து சாந்தராசத்துல இருந்தவங்க, மரமா இருந்தவங்க, அந்த மாதிரி மண்ணா இருந்தவங்க, கல்லா இருந்தவங்க. ஸோ அவங்க போய் பகவான் சேவை செய்ய மாட்டாங்க, பகவான் வந்து அவங்கள பார்ப்பாங்க சொல்லி இதெல்லாம் சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ அதான் நான் கேட்கிறேன்.
Oh, what do you think? Now Mataji is saying all the stones, the trees in Vrindavan, in Goloka Vrindavan, it is in Shantaras. What do you think, your opinion, from what we have understood? What do you think? Vaishnava Prabhu? Gandhi Mataji? Nanda Devi Mataji? You have any thought based of what we have read from Nectar of Devotion? Hello, anybody home?
Hi, Krishna Prabhu. Meaning to, you're saying Goloka Vrindavan, the ultimate
Yes.
Goloka Vrindavan, all the things there are all in Santarasa.
Hmm.
That's what Mataji is saying.
Yes.
Maybe there's cannot be in neutral stage, right?
Give your opinion.
Maybe they are still in neutral stage and they still need perfection.
Are you sure?
But they are already in Goloka Vrindavan. They should
No,
be.
no, Mataji. According to what we have studied in Nectar of Devotion. Okay? We have studied Nectar of Devotion.
மாதுரிய ராசம் இல்லைனாக்கா கோலோகத்துக்கு போக முடியாது.
Okay. So, Gandhi Mataji, what do you think?
Like Mataji saying, if it Madhuri Rasa இல்லைன்னா கோலுக்கா போக முடியாது. So அவங்க வந்து சாந்த ராசா ஸ்டேஜ்ல இருக்க முடியாதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Okay. So what Gandhi Mataji is telling, even the stones and the trees in Goloka Vrindavan cannot be in Shantaras. She say it should be somewhere in Madhurya Ras. Okay. How about others? Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Nandari Mataji, Sudha Sindhu Mataji, do you have any opinion about that? Okay, I give you a hint. We just studied about Kalpa Vriksha tree. Okay, now can you recall? Few sessions before, Kalpa Vriksha tree, Kalpataru tree. What happened?
அவங்க நம்ம கேட்டதெல்லாம் கொடுப்பாங்க பிரபு.
இல்ல. We discussed in Nectar of Devotion.
ஓகே, நான் வரல நினைக்கிறேன். இல்ல பிரபு.
Kalpataru tree. What happened? There was an incident. Kalpataru tree was lamenting. I give you a second hint. Tree was lamenting. Lamenting for what?
கிருஷ்ணா அவர்கிட்ட வர மாட்டாருன்ட்டு ஒப்பாஸ் கூட விளையாடுறாங்க.
கிருஷ்ணா வர மாட்டார். ரெண்டாவது
அது மட்டும் தான் ஞாபகம் இருக்கு பிரபு.
Can anyone recall? Vaishnava Prabhu, can you recall? Okay, you can't recall. Kalpataru tree will be lamenting, Krishna is not coming and resting under my branch, under my distinct, and is not even stepping on my shadow. Can you remember that? If you can remember, please put a thumbs up. Anyone remembers? No one? No one remembers? Hello? Anybody home?
திருப்பி சொல்லுங்க பிரபு, எனக்கு சரியா புரியல.
அதாவது அந்த அந்த கல்பத்தரு மரம் வந்து புலம்போம், லெமெண்டேஷன், புலம்பிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். என்ன புலம்பல் தெரியுமா? கிருஷ்ணர் வந்து என்கிட்ட என் மரத்து கீழே உட்காந்து வரமாட்டுறாரு. வராட்டி கூட பரவாயில்ல, என்னோட ஷேடோ, என்னோட நெகலை கூட மிதிக்க மாட்டுறாரு அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அந்த மரம் ரொம்ப வருத்தப்படும். In English, who understands that? Who put a love? Oh, Saki. In English, it says the tree will be lamenting because Krishna is not resting under that branch and not even stepping on the stone, as stepping on the shadow. So this is the lamentation in ecstatic love. One of the things that we have read. Can you all recall? Gandhi Mataji, can you recall that?
No, Prabhu. I can't recall that.
That tree. Oh, okay.
I recall the name of the tree, Kalpa Vriksha.
Kalpa Vriksha. Okay.
Yeah, related to Madhavendra Puri, something like that.
No. We were saying about that in Kalpa Vriksha tree. Okay, in that tree, what happened? The tree is lamenting. The tree will be like lamenting, why Krishna is not coming to me, not sitting under my disease, or not even stepping on my shadow. Can you recall that, Sudha Sindhu Mataji?
Yeah, I remember the name of the tree, but I forgot about the story.
Oh, the
Yeah.
tree, remember, of course, tree, everyone remembers. Oh my God. But did I spoke here or spoke somewhere else? Now I'm confused now.
இங்கதான் பேசுனீங்க பிரபு, கல்ப விஷயம் பத்தி பேசுனீங்க.
சரி, எப்ப பேசுனேன்?
few days முன்ன ஒரு 3 நாள் இருக்குமா? 2,
3
3
days
days.
ago. So 3 days ago. Oh, it's a very important. Yeah, I'm telling all of you to underline, and I didn't underline. Srimati Radharani is saying, thoughtfulness, argumentation, remembrance, concealment. Inertia, laziness, confusion, death, pride, intoxication, somewhere there. All right. Anyway, so Mataji, idile enna theriyudu? Okay, now let's come to the point here. Saki Mataji,
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
do you think they are in Shantarasa?
இல்ல லவ் பண்றாங்க கிருஷ்ணாவை.
You only can enter Goloka Vrindavan if you only have prema, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu.
Even you want to be a butterfly, even you want to be a pullu in Goloka Vrindavan, the qualification to enter the place is by prema, the perfection of prema.
Okay, Prabhu.
Seriya?
Okay, thank you for the clarification, Prabhu.
So Shantarasa is a beginning stage. When the yogi try to become from the illusion, now is coming into, worshipping Jyoti, coming to worship the form of Vishnu. That's Shantaras. So for when he but how he can do, because it's all the while, all his life he meditate, and now he meditate, he saw the form of Vishnu. He haven't gone down and start to work or wash the pot and go and sing, do kirtan, harinam, adella no seiyala. அந்த தவ நிலையிலே விஷ்ணுவை தெரியுது, right? So this called as Shantaras, neutrality. That means they have not active yet. So in these stages, one can see Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, the deliver. Okay. So at this stage, that means when the after proper guidance, other features devotion serve start to manifest. So when everything start to manifest, he no longer sit, he go to the temple, he start to sing the glories of the Lord. Maybe he start to eat prashadam. Before that, as a yogi, he's not eating prashadam. He's coming out. So this stage of Shantaras, one can see Vishnu, the deliverer of this thing. And even at this, the perfection of Shantaras, you can see Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. So the Lord is appreciated by such would-be devotees. Now let's look at this word, Mataji. So the Lord is appreciated by would-be devotees. Would-be devotees in anartho. The person who are prospective devotee, haven't become devotee, but can be devotee or coming to be a devotee. Terida, would be a groom. All right. That means, for instance, before the marriage, would be the groom, would be the bride. That means what? They are just getting ready to get married. So what Prabhupada is mentioning here, that the Lord is appreciated in such would-be devotee. Will be, that means the karmi, the yogi is now becoming bhakta. He could understand, they could appreciate as the eternal transcendental form. They appreciate them as the eternal transcendental form, the chief of all self-realized soul, the super soul, and now they understand he is Supreme Brahman. Supreme Brahman means what? Now they all want to enter the Brahman, the light, effulgent. But now they appreciate that Vishnu is the Supreme Brahman. Then continue. It says, he is also appreciated as being completely peaceful. He is appreciated means what? The Lord is appreciated of being completely peaceful. The Lord is completely controlled. And the Lord is pure. The Lord is merciful to the devotees. He is merciful to the devotees and untouched by any material condition. So the Lord is not touched by any material condition. I think we studied that in Bhakti Loka. Even the Lord comes down, he's not, I think, also we studied that in Ishopanishad. Of course, we have not discussed Ishopanishad. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudacha. Okay, it comes, the Lord has, okay, yeah, what is the first verse of, can anyone tell me the first verse of Ishopanishad? I can remember only the Tak Tita Bunjita. What is the first one? Okay, anyway, I can't recall. All right, anyway. So, the pure pursuit and untouched by material condition. This appreciation of the Lord Vishnu in awe and veneration. So, that means when they start to worship, they worship in awe and veneration. Bhaya Bhakti. Okay? By saintly is to be understood as the sign that they are situated in Shantaras. So, that means what? They worship the Lord in Bhaya Bhakti. Awe and reverence na பயந்துக்கிட்டு பக்தி பண்றது. Awe means, oh, veneration. Oh, careful, careful. Okay? Or in English, we say protocol. Awe and veneration. So when these people come to the level of awe and reverence, this is the place, the saintly place to be understood as a sign that they are situated in Shantaras. Mataji, you got it? How can this be available in Goloka Vrindavan?
ஓகே நல்லா புரியுது பிரபு
Yeah.
இப்ப எனக்கு கன்ஃபியூஷன்லாம் குழப்பாயிடுச்சு தேங்க்யூ
Okay. And what is Shantaras? Neutral stage of devotional service.
விஷ்ணுவை 100 பிறவியில கும்பிட்டவங்க அவங்கதான் பக்தி கிடைக்கும் அவங்க நியூட்ரலா வருவாங்க இப்பதான் வருவாங்க
Yes. Oh, that's the verse. Thank you, Mataji. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam Yak Kincha Jagatyam Jagat. Tena Taktena Bunjita Ma Grada Kashyas Vittaram. Yes. That's the first verse. So now we understand this is what? The Shantaras is the person who are becoming devotee. But we didn't go through this awe and reverence, Bhaya Bhakti and everything. Poof, we straight jump to Radha Krishna worship. Because ISKCON only propound Radha Krishna worship. ISKCON do not propound any other Vishnu worship. The only Vishnu worship is when we worship Lord Narsingadev. Why? Lord Narsingadev protects our Bhakti Kripa. He protects our Bhakti. Right? But of course, sometimes for according to the place and circumstance, Prabhupada did install Lord Ramachandra, Lakshman Hanuman, Ramachandra, I mean, what they call? Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. He did install where? In which place?
மேனர் பக்தி வினோத் மேனர் பிரபு
Bhakti Vedanta Manor. Right? So he did install here and there. But of course, we worship Ramachandra, Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Narsingadev. This is the standard. All right? So we don't go to other kind of things because we are above all that. Are we making mistake? Oh, you Hare Krishna fellows are fanatic. First, you don't worship any demigod. Second, you whack all the bogus gurus. Openly, you just tell them off. You are all bogus. Number 3, you don't worship any form of Vishnu. Why? What is wrong with you guys? Hare Krishna guys, are you crazy? But let me tell you one story. All right, this is the Gopakumar. Gopakumar, he after his all these pastimes, he was on the way back home, back to Godhead. He was on the way back home, back to Godhead. So the Vishnu Dutas took him to Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha, he saw everybody has Swarupya Siddhi. Swarupa means all the men will look like Vishnu, the bluish form with 4 hands, and all the Matajis, this looks like Lakshmis. He was thinking, wow, so many people are like that. Then they go and worship Mahavishnu. The Lord was standing there in this thing, and all will start to do puja, arati. And everybody was they just bend down and they did with awe and reverence. Okay, they start to worship. Oh, Narayanam Namaskritya, or something. Oh, Vishnu, Vishnu, Narayana, something like that. They're worshiping with this thing, with awe and reverence. Gopakumar was looking, what is happening? And Gopakumar straight away walked to that Lord Narayana and asked, hey, come, let's play. Because Gopakumar is one of the Krishna's associate. He come and say, come and let's play. Why are you standing like this? Come, let's play. Let's play Achidudo or Kona Kondi. Let's play. When he went and straightway approached the Lord and said, let's play, everyone there got a shock. And the Lord was smiling, and Vishnu Dutta immediately stopped him. He said, hey, you cannot talk like that. Why? He's my friend. He's my playmate. I'm asking him to play with me. What's wrong with that? No. You are in a wrong place. You entered the wrong place. Right? You entered the wrong place. And he said, now you go back to earth, practice, then I go straight to Goloka Vrindavan. There you see Krishna and play with him. So when we try to use this prema and all this kind of prema, means there's no rule, because the love, you only express your love. We cannot use this kind of mode of worship to Lord Narayana. It doesn't work. What they call the mood. The mood doesn't, it's not ngam. The mood cannot match. No, when you are so loving, all right? Just like this, say the Sultan of Pera is my very good friend. We grew up together. All right? We grew up together. And suddenly when the Sultan is in official mood, on his birthday is giving everybody the pink card, Now you become Dato, then you become Tansri and all that. Suddenly I go there, hey, Machan, how are you lah? Huh? How are you doing? Can I talk like that? But we are thick friends. In his official duty, can I say, hey, Machan, how are you? Are you okay or not? Hey, happy birthday to you, man. Go and give him a hug. Can I do that to the king? Cannot. When I go near, the people stop him. Say, no, wait for him. Then after he come back, he'll be in the shorts and Bermuda shorts and a t-shirt. Hey, how are you? Happy birthday lah. When he's in the disease. So we are talking about that. That's why we cannot, we basically, it's not possible for us to worship any other form of Lord Narayana. And is that fault? No, it's not a fault. If you want to worship, that's why we call Ishtadeva. Ishtadeva means the one particular deity that you are very attracted to. Oh, I think I'm attracted to what they call what do you call that? The Ayurvedic the deity you found the Lord of Ayurveda. What is it?
Dhanvantri, bro.
Dhanvantri. Oh, I'm so attracted to Dhanvantri. No harm. You chant Hare Krishna, you take initiation from a guru, chant Hare Krishna, your aim, you'll end up in Dhanvantri Loka. There's no harm. Oh, if I go there, is there any big deal? No. Is there anything that I lose? No, you don't lose anything. Please remember that. Everything according to your rasa, your taste. If you are so attracted to Dhanvantri, you are so attracted to Hanuman, or you are attracted to Lord Ram, right? Even if you're attracted to Lord Shiva, the original Shiva, Sadasiva, I'm not talking about Sambhu, or I'm not talking about Rudra. Sambhu Shiva and Rudra Shiva is two different. It's a material form. You're talking about the original form. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, we will study that. When you go to the Kailash, you also will never come back. You will never be born again. That's Vaikuntha Kailash. We're not talking about this earthly Kailash. Sambhu, Mahadev, and Rudra Hamsa. Right? We are talking about Sadasiva, the original Shiva, who is Gopishwara in Vrindavan, who came as Gopishwara. Okay, so like that. So like that. So that's why there's no fault. There's no fault and there's no harm in that. Right? Oh, I'm so attracted to Tirupati Venkatachalapati. See, like now I'm also keeping that photo in front of me. I've been keeping this since 1993, 94. It's for the bookmark. So I'm so attracted to Lord Tirupati Venkatachalapati. I always worship Yelu Kondavala, Govinda, Govinda, Yelu Malayan, Govinda, Govinda. No? But what happened? I go to Tirupati Dham in Goloka, in Vaikuntha Loka. Is there any wrong? No, there's no wrong. There's no harm. All right? All depends on the mood. But since we are in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we basically or naturally, we are in the mode of loving Krishna. We are loving, we are under the direction of Srimati Radharani through her Sakis and Manjaris. Sorry, through her Manjaris, Sakis, Gopis, Sakis, and Manjaris. Through their hierarchy, we are serving. That's why they cannot talk anything else other than Krishna. All right? So there's no harm about it. Okay? Please don't take me wrong. That's what it meant. Ata Santaha. All right? Okay, this is a short one. So we do this and we end the session. Ata Shantaha. Shantas you Krishna Tat. Prashta Karunyena Ratim Gata. Atma Rama Tadiyadva. Baddha Shradasta Tapasaha. So now in the stage of Shantaras, all right, can be attained by the impersonalists only. Okay, Mataji, another statement. Saki Mataji, Saki Champakalata. The stage of Shantaras can be attained by who? By impersonalists only.
Mayavidis.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you, Prabhu. Again, thank you.
When they are in association with pure devotees. The Mayavadis become, they attain Shantaras when they are association with pure devotees. Otherwise, it is not possible. So now, what is the step? The step is this. After Brahman realization, that means the realization of the Jyoti, when a liberated soul comes in contact with pure devotee, all right? That means after they come to the perfect stage, then he come to the pure devotee of Lord Krishna and submissively accepts the teachings of Lord Krishna without misinterpretation. They don't give their own opinion. He becomes situated in the neutral stage of devotional service or Shantaras. So what we can understand from here, the Shantaras can be attained by impersonalists. Now the next statement is very important. Impersonal only. All right. So we must remember. So the Shantaras can be attained by the impersonalists only. All right. When they are in association with pure devotees. Otherwise, it's not possible. All right. Okay. Still we have 10 minutes. Let's do the one. Okay. There's another one. The best example is saintly person situated in Shantaras was Sanakan, Sanatana, Sananda, and Sanat Kumar, the Kumara brothers. So the example here, it says that Atmaram, that means the one who have achieved the saintly person who are in Shantaras was Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, and Sanat Kumara. Please underline these 4 names. Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, and Sanat Kumara, the Kumara brothers. These are the sons of Lord Brahma. When they appeared, yesterday I spoke about this. They were in impersonalists. They say they couldn't find, they say God is formless. Okay, they are in Shantaras. All right. And of course, they are also the founder of Kumara Sampradaya. Okay, now we understand that. Now, so, okay, this is going to be another long explanation. So I think we better stop here. This one we continue tomorrow. When the 4 saintly person, which page is this? Because I will lose the page. Chapter 35.
287.
287. When the stage of Shantara set in by the impersonal, only the impersonal is only when they are an associate. Otherwise, it's not possible after the Brahman realization. These 4 saintly person. These 4, okay. Now, it is at the second paragraph in the page 287. All right. These 4 saintly person, right? Okay. So it's at the second paragraph. 2, 3, 4th sentence. All right. Okay, it's at the first paragraph. Okay, please mark this word. Page 287. Okay. So we open for question. Any question, any comment? Any takeaway? All good?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
You're saying this whole chapter until where we stop. He's talking about Mayavadis and their penance, neutral, their neutrality in the stage of devotional service. But is it also like for normal people, any normal people who don't do this heavy penance or all these things? So, like how we are going through now, through a pure devotee, we are learning to that, to have that rasa.
Okay.
So this, when I read, they are talking about Mayavadis and impersonalists. So, but I also can take it as I'm also there. Is that so?
All right. These Mayavadis are rishis and saintly people. They are mystic yogis. You are there only by definition. You know, you didn't go to the jungle and meditate. You're not to the level of mystic yogis. All right, but you are just under the understanding and the perception. All right. So now this Shantaras is the beginning of these varieties of rasa. That means step 1, Shantaras. Okay, then you finish this. What is step 2, step 3? There's 5 steps we're going to discuss in this chapter. Now, where are you situated? That's the question, yes or not?
Yes, Prabhu, correct.
Okay. When you are ultimately, when you come to this level, as I explained just now, there can be 2 reasons. One reason, you should have perfected your mystic yoga, and you come to the level of Shantaras and you worship Lord Narayana for 100 births, and today you're here continuing, you're just putting a steps into the ultimate goal of Bhakti Yoga. Okay? And Bhakti Yoga means that you also elevated from Bhakti. That means you start from step. Now you're discussing about level of Bhava and Prema. Okay, that's first possibility. Second possibility, by the causeless mercy of a devotee. All right, maybe you should have associated with some pure devotees in your previous life, or even in this current life, some or other, through that kind of or you should have continued your sadhan bhakti in your previous birth and stopped halfway, and some or other you stumble upon Krishna conscious. You know, at what age you became a devotee?
Just only 5
How old are
years.
you?
About 60, no, about 59, like that.
When you became a devotee?
Yeah.
It takes you 5 decades, almost a 6 decade, right? The same thing happened to Vaishnava Prabhu. He also became a devotee at 60, right, Prabhu? Vaishnava Kripa. He also became a devotee at the age of 60. After 6 decades, right? So just imagine, after 6 decades or 60 years later, some or other you get Sukriti. So what we can understand from here, you had a little seva or little Sukriti that have happened to you in your previous birth. Some or other in this birth, it will never let you go. It will haunt you down. After 6 decades, some or other, you became attracted to Krishna again and continuing your journey. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu. That's why a bit too late.
It's never too late. As long as you live, you still have a second chance, Mataji. The second chance is there as long as you are alive. So now you should utilize whatever left over time that you have to utilize fully in Krishna consciousness. So don't take any more chances, or don't take any more, in other words, don't take a break, right? Because after so many lifetime, you got a chance. So at this birth, try your best to go and excel as far as you can. All right. That means keep your devotional service as your main task. Other task is your supplementary task. Or maybe that means you're a full-time devotee and part-time housewife. Something like that. All right. Wake up, chant your rounds, think about Krishna and everything. So once, if your health is quite okay, but don't allow the health to limit you also, because the health is not going to improve. It's some or other going to dwindle. All right. So don't take that thing. Immediately try to go to temple, try to engage, and try to surrender to a bona fide spiritual master. Right? Once you have taken an initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, your pathway back home, back to Godhead is guaranteed.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Just like I got an option of sending a letter through airmail and sea mail. Those days there's a sea mail, right? Airmail and sea mail. Airmail is very expensive. Sea mail means it goes through the ship. Airmail, if I send today, within 1 week, people will get. Nowadays, I'm not sure, but we don't have young people here. Every one of you experienced that, right? We put an airmail. So when I send here, within few days, it fly the next plane, it put into the next flight straight to New Zealand or whichever country, they get the letter within a week. But you send through sea mail. It's not urgent. You send through the sea mail. it'll take at least what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, depends on how fast the ship sails. Nowadays the ship's going faster, but those days it takes its time, right? But the chances of those who are traveling in sea mail, there's a chances of the letter can get lost, right? In the transaction, if the letter is get lost somewhere, diverted, it takes another 1 month for them to find out and send through another ship to go to the destination. So accepting initiation means airmail. If you have still not accepted a spiritual master, you are on a sea mail. Some or other in your voyage, sometimes you can get diverted. So you can end up in some other country and they find out, of course, the Sukriti is still there. By the time they prepare and send you back to the destination, it's going to take another. So you're going to spend a lot of time. That's why at the age of 60, you became a devotee. Because you are on a sea mail. So this is my humble opinion, my humble suggestion, right? Like we are not trying to promote any gurus. I'm not promoting any gurus. Go to temple, start to see, is there someone that you are attracted to? You have to surrender to a devotee. It's a must. A pure devotee, and accept initiation. Initiation means they give you a spiritual name, a new identity in serving the Lord, right? It's very important. And those who have not, try to never stay in the house and try to stay away from the house. Stay away from the temple and try to practice sadhana. It doesn't work that way. But even if you don't have a choice, it's no harm. No harm done, right? No harm, because you're not actually losing anything. You're not losing anything. But of course, I cannot find a guru, so don't be kanchong and don't go and get entangled with the wrong guru and all these kind of things. Take your time. Pray to Prabhupada. For now, Prabhupada is your Siksha Guru. Prabhupada is there to guide you. And how is guiding you? Through the instruction in this thing. But when we go through Srimad Bhagavatam, you will be inspired. But of course, keep that in our mind. Intention. Remember, I told you the intention yesterday. Have that intention that I want to be a full-time devotee. And let Krishna guide you. Let Krishna create a pathway. Let Krishna make a plan for you. Sometimes they say make a pathway, right? When you go to the hospital, first of all, after submitted, they make a plan, a treating plan. What they're going to do now? They create a plan first. All right, now the person comes here. Okay, now this is the plan. This is the second step, third step, fourth step, like that. So similarly, we surrender to the doctor. I come out with the condition. The doctor will plan a pathway for treatment. So similarly, when you create a pathway, surrender to Prabhupada, worship Prabhupada, ask Prabhupada, can you show me a way? Can you show me a bona fide guru? And you just leave it to him. And Prabhupada and Krishna will create a pathway and just follow the path. And maybe this is one of your pathway. Nobody knows. All right? Okay? Okay, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Any other question? All right. If there's no question, we end the session here. 11 o'clock. We continue again tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday. Okay. Tomorrow, Friday, I plan for 2 sessions, morning and evening. But anyway, but evening should be fine. Okay. Should be fine. But anyway, morning is guaranteed. Confirm we are meeting up in the morning. All right. Then Saturday, we are starting our Gita Gyan program. And what they call that? Mataji, what's the name? From Malacca. She shared a link. So any one of you want to join, you can, the link is in the group. You can join using the link. And of course, please join immediately because I got 110 people sign up. The rule of thumb is roughly around 80 people will end up coming. All right. But anyway, don't take risk. All right. Don't take risk because my Zoom capacity is maximum 100 people. Right. It's overwhelming application is there. Whoever that wants to join, please tell them. All right. Please tell them. Join immediately. All right. So like that. All right. With that, we will end the session here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Rupa Goswami Pad. Pancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful day. Gauranga.